As of May 2024, Xander Schauffele ceased to be a great golfer with no majors to show for all his hard work and talent. He bagged the motherlode, the PGA Championship. It's been a long time coming, and we hope he doesn't deprive us of such brilliance again for long. That said, for the casual fans still stuck on the Tiger Woods bandwagon, hearing Schauffele's name being bandied as the highest-ranking golfer sounds a little bizarre. This video is for bringing you up to speed with the latest best to do it. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, Xander Schauffele. Schauffele was born and raised in California, the second best supplied state in the United States after Florida. He entered the sport at a relatively young age, being only 10 when he began playing. His love for the golf can be contributed to his father, Stephen Schauffele, who was a graduate of San Diego Golf Academy, or the Golf Academy of America as it's now known. Schauffele Sr. encouraged his son's interest in golf, even going as far as becoming Xander's swing coach. At the start of his foray into golf, our latest PGA Championship winner attended and played the sport at Scripps Ranch High School before continuing to college at Long Beach State University, then San Diego State University. His personal accolades stretch back to his high school years when he won the 2011 California State High School Championship before bagging the California State Amateur Champion title 3 years later in 2014. At the start of his college career at Long Beach State University, he was coached by Ryan Ressa, leading him to win the first team All-Big West and Big West Conference Freshman of the Year awards in 2012 in his first year out of high school. During his sophomore year, Schauffele transferred to San Diego State University so he could play for its team, the SDSU Aztecs. There, he continued his streak of individual awards. By 2015, he was hot off the press with a degree in social sciences and made the jump to the Web.com Q School in the fall, while also choosing to go pro in the same year. His performances at the Q School earned him eligibility for competing in the Web.com Tour in 2016. His debut campaign was solid, and by the end of the regular season, he ranked 26th on the tour. Unfortunately, he missed out on a PGA Tour card that year because his money wins was $900 short. The Web.com playoffs got underway and Schauffele brought his A game to finish 15th, thereby securing his way to the PGA Tour after all. This move went even better as he finished with the 2017 PGA Tour Championship in the bag, earning himself the award for Rookie of the Year in 2017. In 2024, he'd repeat the same heroics for his first major. But let's not ruin the fun just yet. In 2021, Schauffele shot for par on the last hole, beating Rory Sabatini of Slovakia by a shot to become the first American golfer to win gold at the Olympics since 1900. By September of the same year, he represented Team America at the 2021 Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin. The team won 19-9. Before that, in April, Schauffele bagged the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, which was a team event where he lined up next to Patrick Cantlay. 2 months later, in June, he recorded his 6th victory on the PGA Tour by winning the Travelers Championship. Schauffele was on a roll because what followed next was a victory in the J.P. McManus Pro-Am in July. Despite being an unofficial event on the European Tour, he didn't hesitate to display his dominance on the course, shooting for a record 64 in the first round at Adair Manor. In the same week, he played the co-sanctioned Genesis Scottish Open held in Scotland at the Renaissance Club in East Lothian and won. That took his total PGA Tour victory to 3 in the 2021-22 season and his 7th since getting his tour card. By the following year, he qualified to represent Team America at the 2022 President's Cup, where he played 4 matches, winning 3 and losing 1. Fast forward to September 2023, and Schauffele was on Team America once more to compete in Rome, Italy for the 2023 Ryder Cup held at Marco Simone Golf and Country Club in Guidonia. Although Team Europe would get the better of Team America by the end of the tournament, Schauffele was impressive, going 1-3-0, including a win against Nikolai Højgaard in the Sunday singles match. Despite showing a knack for back-to-back honors, Schauffele had always missed out on majors prior to May 2024. In fact, about a week before he won the trophy, Rory McIlroy used the California native to wipe the floor in the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. After the defeat, Schauffele shook the hands of Austin Kaiser, his caddy for ages now, on the 18th green, saying, "We'll get one soon, kid." If only he knew. Kaiser seemed to have sensed something different in Schauffele that night because he remarked, "It was like the most clarity I've ever had." I'm like, yeah, he truly believes it. Soon for the golfer was exactly 7 days later. Schauffele ended once and for all the narrative that he was a poor closer by putting a 6-foot birdie at the 18th hole on Sunday. That brought his 2-year winless run at the PGA Championship to an end and handed him his first major championship. For a man with all that ability, his victory seemed to have caught him by surprise. Perhaps he was just finally glad it was over when he said, "I just heard everyone roaring and I just looked up to the sky in relief." He finished with a stellar 6 under 65 at Valhalla Golf Club, edging out Bryson DeChambeau, who finished 64 by a single stroke. But that was only one slice of his genius for the entire tournament. Schauffele shot a 72-hole total of 21 under 263 to record the lowest 72-hole scoring total at a major championship and the lowest scoring total by par. His total career titles on the PGA Tour now sit at a respectable 8. Given how seemingly easily he breezed through the others, this one required a lot more perseverance and grit to be won. Not to mention that he was under immense pressure to live up to the hype surrounding his career and a place in the top 5 globally ranked golfers. Before his win, Schauffele was the only person in that group to not have a major championship to his name. That doesn't mean he hasn't tried to rectify that for years. He did, even managing several close calls this season, like blowing his lead at the Players' Championship, among others. After that disappointing result in March, he said, "I'll lick my wounds and right back to it next week." And that his next win would be better after succumbing to a 5-stroke deficit to McIlroy. He's shown incredible mental fortitude all his career, ignoring the noise that he was the best active golfer without a major. Of course, it was only a matter of time before he rectified that. Schauffele was coached by his father from his earliest playing days before joining Como's came after relocating to Florida from the West Coast. Como is linked to both past and present top golfers like Jason Day, Tiger Woods, and even DeChambeau. Although Schauffele didn't make significant changes to his swing, he worked on keeping his shoulders a little stooped and keeping the club a little more on plane. Add to that his physical fitness, the California native has improved on his game yet again. This improvement was crucial not just for silencing the noise, but for career improvement and living up to his potential. Schauffele belongs to the famous class of 2011 with the likes of Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. However, he's the most recent of the bunch to add a major under his belt, and this came after several chances already. Like I pointed out earlier, he played horribly at the Players' Championship, then finished T2 in both the 2018 British Open and 2019 Masters. In his other majors, he landed in the top 10 finish 12 times but couldn't close. After their talk at the Wells Fargo Championship, Kaiser had a good feeling about Valhalla. So, when he was approached by CBS commentator Colt Knost in his thoughts about the winner of the championship, Kaiser didn't hesitate to name Schauffele. Beyond being caddy and golfer, both men have history as teammates at San Diego State. So, on that fateful day in May, Schauffele raced off the course with a record 9 under 62 record, the 4th in major championship history, and creating a PGA Championship record in the process. He was the guy who shot 62 at a major and won. But the process of getting there was hardly handled out on a platter. He followed with a pair of 68s and tied for the 54-hole lead with Colin Morikawa. Things were not promising at this point. The leaderboard was bunched thanks to ideal course conditions and soft, receptive greens. Schauffele knew he had to go on the offensive. He picked 22 under as the score to beat in what turned out to be a 3-way race between Norwegian Viktor Hovland, DeChambeau, and himself. A hiccup on the easiest hole on the course, par 5 10th, was concerning after a 6-foot par putt lipped the hole for Hovland to make birdie and squash Schauffele's lead. He'd choke on the 4-iron next, hitting a cut that fell just short of the green on the split fairway. Thankfully, he found the home from 6 feet away. Victory. Schauffele loomed to the sky, arms wide open, his face coated with satisfaction and relief. It was over. He had made birdie in style, joining Payne Stewart in 1989 and Phil Mickelson in 2005 as the only PGA champions to win by a margin of 1. LIV Golf and the PGA Tour might have a deal in principle for a merger, but transitioning between both tours remains a touchy subject for many. There are many people who don't believe in the arrangement and think of those who made the jump to the Saudi-backed outfit as turncoats. Xander Schauffele is the latest player on the sights of LIV Golf, but his father has since come to set the record straight, making it clear that Xander wouldn't be joining LIV Golf. It's expected that his recent victory in a major will have the Sharks swimming, especially as Schauffele has consistently performed well on the PGA Tour, like his 12 top 10 finishes. Although words aren't exactly etched in stone in modern golf, Schauffele has ties with Patrick Cantlay, one of the main objectors to any relationship or deal with the Saudi. So for now, his father's word might just do. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, and leave us a comment about what you think of Schauffele's victory. See you in the next one.